I've got burning candles and flowers in the background, and if that doesn't make me a beauty vlogger, I don't know what does. A couple weeks ago I paid someone to cut off all my hair, and this video, as the title implies, is going to explain why I did this. It started, like all great things do, on Tumblr. I was scrolling through the Anne Hathaway tag because Tumblr, and I kept seeing pictures of her with short hair. It's not like I'd never seen women with short hair before, but for some reason these pictures inspired a revelation. I don't have to have long hair, which was a wildly liberating moment for me. And once I got over this weird mental block that always stood in the way of me seriously considering cutting off all my hair, the reasons to do it just started snowballing. Part 1. Why I didn't want long hair anymore. Basically, my long hair did absolutely nothing for me. I hated how tangled it got when it was really long, so I rarely grew it out past my shoulders, which severely limited what I could actually do with it. I rarely had the patience to try anything fancy, and when I did, it never worked because my hair was too fine to hold a bobby pin and too straight to hold a curl. So basically it just sort of hung there. Except not, because I hated the way it got in my face all the time, so most of the time I put it up. From where I stood, there were zero benefits to maintaining long hair. But short hair. Part 2. Why I wanted short hair. I have this weird obsession with downsizing. Like, I am addicted to throwing stuff away and packing less when I travel and wanting to live in the tiniest apartment, and like, sometimes I'm worried I'm just gonna disappear entirely. And the idea of cutting off my hair was very appealing to this part of me. Like, I could throw away 90% of my hair products and accessories, and the ones that I would use, I'd use in much smaller quantities. And it would take so much less time to wash, dry, and style in the morning, not to mention the fact that I would actually have less hair. It was very exciting. And finally, part 3, how I overcame popular hesitations when considering a short haircut. People will think you're a lesbian if you have short hair. Anyone who spits directly into the face of how complicated sexuality is by assuming that there's some kind of formulaic relationship between the size of the biomaterial growing out of the follicles on top of my head and what makes my genitals tingle isn't really someone I'm interested in talking to anyway. Also, what's wrong with looking like a lesbian? Well, boys won't hit on you if they think you're a lesbian. I've got news for you. I'm not interested in romantically engaging with anyone who would instantaneously judge something as personal as my sexuality based on half a glance at the top of my head. Next! What if I look like a boy? First of all, there is of course nothing wrong with looking like a boy if that's what you want. I like looking like this socially constructed concept of girl, and there's also nothing wrong with that. I resolved this one by keeping an eye out for girls with short hair, and when I spotted one, I asked myself, does her hair make her look like a boy? And the answer was a unanimous no. Turns out gender expression is a lot more complicated than that. Who knew? What if I don't like the way it looks on me? Well, it grows back, so it's not the end of the world if you get a haircut that you don't like, but I'm also not gonna tell you you're shallow for wanting to avoid that in the first place. One way to tell if you're gonna be happy with the way you look with short hair is to gauge how you feel when you have your hair up. It also helps to look at people who look like you, so if you're always being compared to one celebrity, see if they've ever had really short hair, or do what I did and look at your family. Both my mom and sister rock the crap out of their pixie cuts, so I figured I could too. After that, it was just a matter of choosing a salon. If you live in Seattle and want to hear about the place where I chose to get my hair cut, I put a link to a video that I made about that in the description, but otherwise, that's how I decided to cut off all my hair. As you can see, it was a very personal decision, and one of the best ones I've ever made. I hope this was informational for some people, whether that's inspiring you to cut your hair or making you realize you really do love your long hair the way it is, or anything in between. Bye!